Hi friends, welcome back to my Kotlin series. In the last video, we learned about arithmetic operations and if-else statements. Today we are going to explore logical operators in Kotlin like AND, OR and NOT, and we will also understand an important concept of Kotlin called short circuiting. So let's get started. So for that we will take one function first and take two variables. Well, x is equal to y, well, x is equal to true. Here we are taking boolean variables. Well, y is equal to false. So we will learn about AND operator. So what is AND operator? The so AND operator is something like AND operators. It returns true only if both values are true. So AND operator is like this, and I will write down over here that it returns true only if both values are true. I will take one another variable called result, and I will store the operate AND operator condition in that to check the values x and y, and now we will call that variable in print. So result, yeah. Now let's check what output it gives us. So let's run this file. Here I will pause this video because it takes some times, and because of that video becoming too much lengthy. So here you can see in our console that it returns false because the value of x is true and the value of y is false, and the AND operator condition is that it returns true only if both values are true. So if I change false to true, I will change if I change the value of y to true. Let's run this file and check the output. I will show you the output after it builds and uh, completed compiling. Sorry for the trouble. Here you can see that it returns true value because the value of x and the value of y both are true, and it checked the condition that both values are true, so it returns a true value. Now let's check for the OR operator. So what is OR? OR is it returns true if at least one value is true. So let me write down over here so you can get a better idea. It returns true only if at least one value is true. So here I will change the value of y. I will take it as a false, and I will reassign the variable result and pass the condition x or y, and we'll print we'll call that value in print result. So I will comment it down so it will not print both the value together. So let's run the file, and so it taking compiling and building taking some time, and it creates a video very lengthy, so I will pause this video and show it after it's get completed. So here in the console you can see that it returns true value because the x value is true and y value is false, and the condition of OR operator is that it returns true only if at least one value is true. So here for x value we have true value, so at least one of our value is true, so it returns a true value. Now the next operator is NOT operator, which simply means it reverses the value. Uh, Means if the value is true, it becomes false, and if it is false, it becomes true. So let's take. Let me write down over here so you can get a better idea that it simply reverses the value that if true becomes false and false becomes true. So for that we will take one another variable, well answer is equal to false, and I will take another variable to store the result. Let's take it as a result 1. So here I will pass not an answer and call that variable in print. So here we take another variable result1, so we will call that variable in print result1. So let me comment down this so you can see the output in console clearly. Now let's run the file and check for this not operator. So here you can see that we take a variable answer false and it returns a value true because we apply a not operator and then a variable answer which is false, so it gives us reverse value which is true. If I add another not operator, let's check what output it gives us. So let's check it out. So here you can see that in our console it returns false value because first it checks this variable which gives us true value, which is the reverse of false. It gives true first time, and then second time we also add one more not operator, so it becomes false again. So here this is the concept of and, or, and not. Sorry for that. Now let's talk about short circuiting. So short circuiting means Kotlin doesn't always check both sides of logical expressions if it already knows the result from the one. So for that let me comment down this portion of not operator so we can understand for short circuiting. So for that we already take two variables, that val x is equal to true and val y is equal to false. Here I will change the variables for a x is equal to false, and let's take y is equal to true. For short circuiting, uh, let's take l- let's check condition. Let's check the condition in print. For that, I will take x and y, and let let's run this file and show the output. Then I will explain you what it gives and why this value returns. So here you can see that it returns false value. As you know that for AND operator both value needs to be true. So if x is equal to false, if x is equal to false, then Kotlin won't even check for b, because as you know n needs both values to be true. So we already know that the value should be false, and it will and so on, it gives it returns as a false value. So now let's check same for the OR operator. Let's check what output it gives us in console. So here you can see that it returns a true value. The first value is for AND operator, and the second value true is for the OR operator. So here you can see that it returns true value, because as you know for OR operator only one value needs to be true. So here x value is false. So x value is false, then it will check for the another check for the y value if it is true or not. If it is true, then it will return true value. If it is not, then it will return false value. So same it is for AND operator, that it checks for the x value, for that if it is false, it won't be checked for y value. So because in AND operator both values need to be true, so if the x value is false, then it won't check for the y value. In the OR operator, it check the both condition, that if x value is true, if x value is true, then it will not check for the y value, because it already takes one value which is true, so it will not check for the y. But here the value of x is false, so it check for the y value which is true, so it returns a true value. So the that is a simple logic, that for AND operator, for AND operator it will check for first part, that if the first part, the value of first part is false, that it will not going to check for a second part, and it will definitely return to the false value. And for OR operator, it will check for the first part, that if it returns true value, the value of first part is true, then it won't check it will not going to check for another part, the second part. But if the first part value is false, then it will go to check to the second part, that the value of second part is true or not. So that's how logical operators work and what short circuiting means in Kotlin. Simple but powerful. I will be uploading all the code examples from this Kotlin series to my GitHub account, so you can easily download them and follow them along. As I upload the new videos, I will keep updating the repository. That way That way you will always have access to the latest Kotlin basic and examples. So feel free to check it out, practice the code and explore more on your own. So guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoy this video. I will see you in the next video with another concept of Kotlin. So bye bye.